Hello, everybody. So, after filming at the Lincoln dealership, here's my car. I came across the street, so I came from all the way up there, right across the street, to a Cadillac dealership. And it's no surprise, I think, that they are right across the street from each other. It's because Cadillacs and Lincolns have always been kind of, rivalries. There's been rivalries between the two. They were rivals. And I can honestly say I like both brands. I do love Cadillacs. I do. And actually, before settling on my Lincoln Town Car, I came to this dealership to test drive actually one. I know it was also an '06 Cadillac DTS, which didn't work out because the pricing was insane. It was an '06 with it was a platinum, so fully loaded, like their top of the line. It had like 80 to 90,000 miles. But they want some like 16 grand for it. Where this one, also an '06, also fully loaded for the time, without nav. Nav was an option. That one did have nav, okay, and it had cooled seats. But this one was 7 grand. That one they wanted like I don't know. We entered some basic negotiations. And after I realized the price was just, there's no way that I was going to pay that much for a 14-year-old car. I don't care if it's a Cadillac or not, but I ended up settling on the Lincoln. So, but anyway, I love Cadillacs. And like I said, I really considered either a Lincoln or a Cadillac. It's always been kind of my two most favorite brands. And I want to do the same thing what I did before. I want to look at the newer cars, which I think they have them all the way there. I drove through this place, to kind of try to understand where's the new stuff is. I want to say that that's the new stuff right over there. But there's a lot more vehicles in this section, including SUVs. So, as before, I will focus just on the sedans. There's way too many SUVs. It's not my style. I mean, look at this. Way too many crossovers all over the place, in new and used everywhere. And this dealership in particular is interesting because this also used to be a Hummer dealership. You see that big H with iron steel bars? This used to be a Hummer and Cadillac. Well, obviously Hummer no longer exists as a new car brand. So they got the H. Obviously they didn't want to rebuild it. So it looks like, the Cadillac was there first. Then when the Hummer came aboard, they kind of started adding to this building. Just this is for the Hummer. But obviously now this is a waste, but it's going to cost too much money to demolish the H part, and they're just using it as an extra showroom. So anyway, I'm looking at some new cars, and I can tell you this. I don't think I like new style Cadillacs. I would rather have an older Cadillac than a newer Cadillac. And the reason for that is just the whole idea of them coming after the German brands. They have the whole CT4. I'm talking about the Cadillac, so I don't even know what this is. I mean, it looks nice, but once again, I don't know the modern Cadillacs that well to talk about them freely. All right, so they have a CT4 here. Oh, this is perfect. So this is a CT4. Sorry, I just keep jumping around because I'm like a kid at a toy store. So here's a CT4. So this one is a direct competitor to, I'm guessing, a BMW 3 Series or a Mercedes C-Class. And look, maybe it's just me, but the style, like this, to me, looks more Malibu than it does a Cadillac. And I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to create edges and sportiness and Nürburgring and all that stuff, but that's not what Cadillacs are made for. That's not what they're born. I'm not saying you can't have a sporty Cadillac. No, I'm not saying that. But they're trying to make everything like that. And ultimately, I think what ends up happening, they're putting in nice little details like this badge, which I'm not sure why isn't this in color. If this is in color, right? Why isn't that? And what actually even happened to the classic Cadillac emblem? Like, what is this? I know what it's supposed to represent. It's supposed to represent a shield. And, it's a play on the classic Cadillac symbol with the wreath and the crest. But at the same time, I just don't think you can have both. So, look, it's a CT4 premium luxury. That's 45 grand. Okay. So, I mean, from the car perspective, from modern vehicle, it's relatively affordable. You know, 45. It's not extreme. It's locked, of course. But also looking inside, I don't know how well you can see it. Okay, so there's no wood. Okay, fine, no wood. Wood is considered old style. But also, there's no panoramic moonroof. Okay, for 45 grand. There's all this black, or actually no, I'm not sure if the seats. The seats are either black or gray. I know. I'm sorry. There's way too much glare for me to show you and talk at the same time. But anyway, so this is a Mercedes C-Class fighter or BMW 3 Series fighter. Be honest with you, it looks kind of crappy. I think it looks crappy to me. You know, it's an all-wheel drive, which is nice. It's got the nice exhaust down the bottom. Okay. But the whole rear does not work. I know they're trying to make this into a spoiler, you know, with the backup camera kind of built in. Once again, I think it looks cheap. That's what it is to me. Now, it's got a good enough engine. And if there's any Cadillac, you know, lovers out there, just please remember, I love Cadillac as a brand just as much, if not more, than you do. I never owned a Cadillac, but I was aspired to own one. But this is way too sporty. All right, so maybe I'm picking too heavily, you know, as at an entry level, because this is kind of sort of an entry level Cadillac, right? Fine. Let's step up. Let's step up to the CT5. Okay, so this is the Mercedes. So that's a C. So that's an E-Class. So that's a Mercedes E-Class equivalent. Okay, which to me, I don't know about you, but I can barely tell the difference between this one and this one. Just look at it from the front. Like, I mean, am I just being blind? But that's a CT4. That's a CT5. I don't know. I mean, they look the same. I know there's a few differences in the headlights. There's a few differences in the grille. Very, very subtle. This is a blacked out. That's not, you know, the symbol is the same. The Cadillac logo. It's a 20, so does that one. So, what is this? Why is the window sticker here? So that's a $52,000 car. It's a CT5 Sport. Once again, it's got 50. It's cost $52,000. It's a turbo, so it's a two-liter turbo. So it's a 4-cylinder turbo. All right, got decent gas mileage. All right, so 25 average. I don't remember what that one was, but anyway, once again, sporty. Okay, so what are we talking about? We're talking BMW 5 Series and Mercedes E-Class. Once again, I don't know. Maybe you guys can write to me in the comments. I mean, if I'm being too harsh on these cars. So once again, so this one has a 2.0 turbo engine according to the window sticker. Why is it called 350T? No, T is for turbo. What's up with the 350? What is that? Is that the horsepower rating? No, probably not, but I could check in the window sticker. Same thing here. Look. CT4 350T, CT5 350T. Both are all-wheel drive. Okay, so this one has the rear backup light right on the bottom, like the race car. Same thing. Look, I'm gonna be paying like 10 grand more or something like that. Why are the headlights the same? You know, with barely different treatment. I don't know. This one is all blacked out. It's again going for the sporty. Okay, so at that price, I do get the double pane moonroof. Oh God, this is hot on a black car on a hot day. Yeah, I know you guys will be able to see anything inside. So this one is tinted all around. It's again playing on the whole sport thing. So let me look. Yeah, let me just look at the horsepower. You know, where's the 350 comes from? Let's see, this one also 2.0 turbo. So they have the same engine. Maybe transmission is different. I think that one had a 10-speed. This one has an 8-speed. I don't know where to even find horsepower in here. I don't know if they list horsepower there. So that one is averaging 25. This one is averaging 26. Okay, so because of the heavier car, which once again also leads me to believe, yeah, there's no horsepower. And by the way, the base price for this one is $37,400, so it's got so many options to make it a 45. It's got heated driver's seat. Oh, so look at this. The base model Cadillac at 37 grand will not have heated seats. I mean, my 2013 Hyundai Elantra had heated seats for $16,000. This one will not have heated seats. All-wheel drive costs $2,000. Navigation $1,700. So this one is like, it's probably like almost fully loaded. But once again, where does the 350 come from? I don't know. Why are they naming their cars after the Germans with weird numbers? At least for the German cars, they, you know, the numbers, at least they used to signal like either how many horsepower or maybe with the size of the displacement of the engine. Now, I don't know. It makes no sense. That's why I don't know the more modern versions of Cadillacs as well as I probably should, especially making car videos, right? So here you go. So I'm once again not sure if those two are just the only two new cars, because here I came to the section where they got a bunch of 2019s, which I'm thinking they're just unsold 2019s because they all have like window stickers in somewhere in the car. So here's a 2019 CTS all-wheel drive for 59 grand. So CTS, once again, an entry-level car. It's a little different styling. It's got a 3.6 badge, so which leads me to believe it's a 3.6. It looks nice. I mean, it's got the similar type of interior. It's all black. No wood. They don't put wood in modern cars anymore. 19. Yeah, so these are all CTS. So I think in 2020 they must have renamed all of them. Yeah, look, they all have the same thing. So where is the largest one? Where is, let's see, what is this? See, it's even hard for me to tell them apart. Like, look at this. Like, even those two, like the CT4 and CT5, I can't tell them apart. I'm serious. CTS. So this is the land of the CTS right up here. Let's see, what is this? Yep, CTS. So these are all the section of CTSs. So look, I mean, if somebody gave me a free Cadillac, would I take it? Yes, I would. But I just don't feel any passion for these cars. So again, they all look the same. Can't tell them apart. Now these are all CTS, so I guess, you know, that's easy. But all these are SUVs. Here's another CTS. So CTS is like their small car, you know, they're compact, like I said, you know, to fight the German small cars, Mercedes, BMW, I mean Audi too. I know I'm kind of forgetting the Audi. What is it, the A4, I think, for the Audi? So where are their large limo style, old school type of cars? And now these are all new, so I'm trying to critique the new cars or compare. So this looks a little larger. So what are these? CT5. Okay, so here is a row of CT5. So it's the same ones like I saw there. So this one is 43 grand. 2.0, 10 speed. Okay, so the CT5 has the 10 speed. The CT4 has the 8 speed. They're all locked. Can't get in. But it's, again, I don't know about you, but I'm not thrilled with these cars. Here's the black one. They do look somewhat nice in black for 56 grand. Well, and once again, you have a sea of SUVs. I mean, this is SUV, Escalade. And then this is their new, I don't even know what once again, I'm horrible at this because I don't know what they're called anymore. XT5. I used to know all the cars just by looking at them. Now, because they all look similar, I don't. So CT5. So this is the E-Class, and so here's, once again, look at this. CT4, CT5. Can you spot, you know, a lot of differences? What, the badge on the CT5 is up above, and on the CT4 it's in the middle of the trunk? Maybe? You see, once again, got the circles. Can't figure out how to hide them. So I believe there's a CT6 somewhere. I'm not sure if maybe it's being discontinued because the Impala, the Chevy Impala that I think shares its thing is being discontinued. But in general, I'm not sure where it is. All right, so I'm gonna take a walk. There's also another visitor here, right there in a Cadillac. So there's a sea of cars this way. So I thought that these were the new cars, which I think they are. I think this is where the used cars are. So I'm gonna pause for a second. I'm gonna hopefully find something interesting. All right, so here I did find an interesting area here of cars. So this is a mixture of Cadillac and non-Cadillac used cars. So I'm going to focus on the Cadillacs first. So I guess to start off with, here's even on the SUV, XT4, XT5, XT5, XT something. It's like, I don't know. Maybe you have to be a salesperson to really know these things these days. But all right, anyway, so these are some used cars. So here's an CTS. It's an older, don't know what year this is, but I mean, this is kind of probably the end. See, this is a 2016 emergency vehicle again. There you go. Okay, so I think this is probably like, I think at 2016-ish or so, this is where my mental capacity to remember all these XT versions of cars kind of end. No, I mean, yeah, I understand. This one's got a heads-up display, and I like how it has the older style Cadillac crest sticker on it. I think this is probably for service or something like that, which is actually from a different Cadillac dealership. So this is a Wild Cadillac, and this is, I don't know if this is I think it's a Napleton Cadillac. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, it's sporty. It is. What is it, 2016 for $29,600 with 31,000 miles. All right, so it probably came off a lease. Once again, it's got the sporty wheels. I get that. It doesn't have the emblem, you know, on the fender. It's got those circles for all the different sensors, but not my style. This one, what is this? Is this an XTS? Yeah, I'm horrible at this. I had a much easier time. XTS. Oh, this is a Spec V. Platinum. Oh, okay. So this is interesting. All right. Let me try to move around. So it's a 2016 STS Platinum V for $32,800 with 33,000 miles. So this was, I think, at the time. Oh, and it's a all-wheel drive one. So man, this is the fully loaded, the best of that era. So this was their efforts to make the large Luxo barge, that rhymes, into a sports machine. So they gave it, I think, a larger rims, I think probably a little upgrade on the engine, but yet they left all the luxury, like the leather and the bits and pieces. So this is probably, I would probably go for this one, simply because it's not as sporty as they think it is. I love how it looks to a certain extent. It does have a little Chevy Impala vibes to it, which I think they do share some architecture and design. But in general, I think I would go for this. You know, it's got the rear sunshade. It does have the dual pane moonroof. It does have this brake light, which kind of makes it look like a little spoiler. You know, it's doable. Here we go again, the ATS. It's a small one, who cares? CTS. Oh, here it is. So here's the XTS. Here we go. XTS. XT5. Wait, no, I'm sorry. It's also an XTS. But they look different. I think they're different years. Look at this. So this one you can spot a little difference. In the headlight, in the tail light, how this one they curve around, this one they're straight. Both have the spoiler, both have the reverse light down below. Let's see. Here's another one. So these two are the same. Although once again, they're probably different year. Here's XTS4. Here's XTS4. A little different, I think. God, I don't know. I'm losing it already. Oh, look, different badges. So this one must be older. It's got the old So here's an interesting one. Here's the old crest. And I like this one. I don't know. It may not have like the little ducks inside like it used to before, like in the 90s and stuff. But I like this over this. I don't know. To me, this makes no sense. At least this one has a little style to it. Let's look at them up front. So let's see. Oh yeah, here, this is awesome, right up here. We got, so that's why they're a little different. So that's the 19, that's the 16, that's the 13. So let's see, so going back in time. Yeah, way too sporty. So this is like the flagship, I guess. That's like the largest vehicle, probably the most expensive one, unless you go like an Escalade type. I mean, like sedan-wise, this 19, 16, 13. Now, I know this is going to sound weird, but I would rather have the 13. Just something about it that looks way more elegant, way more luxury, and way less sporty than any of those. And simply because I think by that time, you know, they kind of thought, once again, I know it's all glare and reflection, but just, I think there's way more style in this car. You know, you still have the idea of the tail fins, which I personally love. This one also being the platinum. Platinum is their highest trim. Have the tail fins. Have that third brake light. This one does have it too, but this one has something happening to the front, which I really don't like. I like the crest. I like the script right here. Cadillac, this is their classic script. This one does have it too. This one does not have it. At least I can't see it. Yeah, I don't think it has it. You know, so on this one they did put the badge here on the fender. So that must be like their new cool thing that they're trying to do. I think this harkens back to the time where they were putting GM, the little GM logos like down there in the bottom. So this is kind of like their new thing. I think they're just doing it on the Cadillacs. Yeah, I like the old stuff. I don't know, maybe I'm aging prematurely, but I love the old stuff better. All right, so we got some SUVs. So let's just quick take a look here. This is a mixture, once again. This is a mixture of Cadillac and non-Cadillac. So these things right here, so Chrysler 300s, I think besides the Lincoln Continental, these are probably the closest to a Lincoln Town Car as far as being kind of like this old school, you know, riding on the old platform. I think these are also rear-wheel drive, although there are options for all-wheel drive, and I think they're still being made. We used to get these stolen all the time from the car rental lot back in the day, actually back in 2011. But yeah, the Chrysler 300s I would get. I would. I didn't test drive one before buying my town car, but I would go for this. And simply because, if you can see this, they do have the older school, older style interiors. They have the wood, the plastic wood. Some of them do have the option. I think on the Chrysler 300C they have the option for the wood on the steering wheel. I think both of these are not the C. Oh well, this one you can't even see anything. It's not a C because you can't see. It's got the sticker pinstripes. Yeah, and it's got the dual moonroof. That one doesn't. So that one's got to be like the base model or something like that. And this one's a little higher up. And this one is also all-wheel drive. So yeah, I would go for the Chrysler 300. I like the look. I like how it's a little bit more modern than the town car. So it does have some extra options that town car just did not come with. What is this? What are we even looking at? I'm getting turned around here. XDS. Why am I calling? Yeah, here you go. CTS, XDS. Very little change. Can't really tell them apart. Malibu, Mazda 6, no. Malibu again. What's up with all the Malibus? Here's a Chevy Cruze. Very economical car, but who cares? Ooh. Oh boy. Buick Lucerne CX. So this is the base model. And I think they stopped making these in 06, I think. I love these cars. Look. I mean, how could you go wrong? I think actually somebody painted that themselves. This is not a factory job. I love this. Yeah, look, this is what I was talking about. These little emblems. So this is what GM used to do. And yeah, and somebody definitely painted this. Yes, I love these cars. These older style cars. Even though it's a crappy GM, I get it. But this car I do love. And this is the base model. I would obviously want to go for something more luxurious, you know, with the leather, with the heated and the cooled seats like these used to come. I love the portholes. I know they're gimmicky. I know they're not real, but I love those things. I used to have it on my 2010 Buick LaCrosse. Ooh. This one is even open. Look at this. It is like 1,000 degrees in there. So look, to me, oh God, yeah, this is like scorching. To me, this is luxury, and it smells nice too. Like, I love this wood type of deal. I love this shifter. You know, even these controls, you know, they're not modern. I get it. They're not even high quality. I get it. But I like these little touches of wood on the door. You know, if it works, it works. Yeah, power seat works. These did come with an option, I think, with a third seat, which is probably just as useless as in a Lincoln Town Car. Maybe even more because it's a bit of a smaller car. But yeah, I love these cars. This is the base model. And I think the CT... Oh God, see, I'm going to get confused. The XTS that I test drove at this dealership, yeah, it was from like the same era, basically. So a Cadillac version of this car. So this is an 08, so it's a little more modern. But yeah, I love the waterfall grille. I know a lot of companies make the waterfall grille, including Lincoln, but I love it. So I would go for this, just more luxurious. You know, not so base, and hopefully without, like, somebody's crayons. Oh yeah, this is my style of a car. Minivan, Lexus, the Buick Enclave, I think it's called. Yep, Enclave. See, this is when they give real names to cars. I tend to remember them. Yeah, I like how this car looks too. I'm not an SUV person, but I like these little touches here. This one's, for some reason, got a plastic wrapping on the steering wheel. I mean, it's a 2017. I don't know what's up with that. It's locked. But yeah, I like the little analog clock on the dash. I like the leather seats. I like the wood trim. I even like this color. Even though I'm not an SUV person, I'm telling you. Because this, to me, stands for luxury. I don't know why. I know that a Lexus would last you, and not this. I know they're not direct competitors, but I know Lexus would last you longer with less problems. But I like this, and I don't necessarily like this, because this is kind of a tough-looking macho thing, which is based on the Enclave, Acadia. Trying too hard. It costs a little, I don't know if it could even cost a little less or not, but nah, the whole techie stuff, nah. All right, everybody, I think I've exhausted everything at this dealership. Here's a row of SUVs, but it kind of shows that, unfortunately, manufacturers are going the wrong direction. They are trying to beat the German, European car makers, but I don't know, like the Cadillacs, to me, they represent luxury. They don't have to go fast. They don't have to beat a Mercedes or an Audi or BMW at a Nürburgring. Who cares? You know, yeah, make a sporty model by all means, knock them out, but don't make everything you make exactly the same. It's like you can copy and paste it, and like I said, this 4 and this 5 model, I can't tell them apart, which means a lot of concern. And I'm into cars, you know, that's the fun part, is that I am into cars and I cannot tell them apart. These SUVs, I stopped even caring about these things because that's not my style. I know plenty of people love them, and, you know, God bless them for it. But yeah, that's kind of sad, where everything, you know, maybe in 10 years, if I'm still making videos, there won't even be any cars for me to film. But here's the last one. See, there's another group of people checking something out. Here's a 2019 red. I love the color. What is this? It's a 2019 CTS all-wheel drive luxury for 60 grand. Here we go again. You know, maybe if they stop putting so much emphasis on the sport, and this is probably an unsold 2017 model. You know, stop putting too much emphasis on that, on the sportiness, and just make nice luxury cars that people can afford. So 60 grand, right? So here are the people in the Altima checking out stuff on the Cadillac lot. Yeah, so once again, I love making these videos. I hope you like watching them. Please like, subscribe. Some of them are longer, some of them are shorter. Try to make as unique as possible. If you guys have any suggestions or requests, please leave them in the comments. I love reading them. At this point, I still respond to every single one of you. So I hope you like it. There's another emergency vehicle, and that's my cue.